So for our project, we wanted to take a look at what major gets the best jobs. So our statement of the problem is we want to know what major will get you a job out of college. We also want to know what the highest paying fields are. Our null hypothesis was that business degrees are the most valuable in combining employment rate and starting salary. Alternate hypothesis was that business is not the most valuable degree based on one or both of these measures. And we're just looking in terms of bachelor's degrees, nothing more. So we sourced and collected our data in 3 different studies that involved the same 15 majors and averaged out starting salary and unemployment rates between those sources. This allowed us to get a base level of employment and starting salaries for 15 of the largest majors. A few potential biases and problems we ran into were that the studies only included 15 majors, but we think that they were the 15 most popular, so that kind of nullifies that issue. And we obviously can't go into every single major and look at each one. The most relevant information we could find was from 2014, so some of it might be a little outdated. And the data also combined a few small fields into one larger major. For example, accounting, finance, human resource management were all bundled into business. To analyze this data, we ran the mean, maximum, minimum, standard deviation, and the mode to see if that would give us more information on the data, because we wanted to see how business as a major stacked up in terms of these values. We believe this was the best way to see just how useful a business degree is when compared to other degrees.
So first we wanted to look at the starting salaries for these majors. So like I said earlier, we ran the averages for starting salaries and business turned out to be 47,000, which was second amongst the 15, which was second to the maximum, which was engineering at 58,000. And as you can see, the business is well above the average, which was 35,000. And also, it blew away the minimum, which was around 30,000, right above that. And so the standard deviation for the starting salaries was $7,200. And so with that being said, the business was more than one standard deviation away from the average of all majors. It just points to how much higher it is than most of the other majors. And yeah, it was second out of 15, behind only engineering. The next data we looked at was the unemployment rates. So again, we did the max, the min, the average, and then we looked at business. And business was below the average for unemployment rate. The average was 7.4%, and the business average was 6.3%. So it was not the lowest, it was the fourth lowest out of the 15. And when you combine that with the fact that it had the second highest starting salary, that averages out to the third best overall. And that was the best out of all 15. There were no majors that had both uh, in the top five for these two metrics. And the engineering, which had the highest starting salary, had the eighth lowest unemployment rate. So that averaged out to about 4.5, which is not nearly as good as business's third. So from this, we concluded that based on the statistics from the last two slides, we believe business is the most valuable undergraduate degree. It ranked in top five for both metrics. It was the only major to do that. It had the highest average ranking amongst all of the majors when we compared the starting salary and the unemployment rates. So for those reasons, we are accepting our null hypothesis. And just to discuss it a little bit, for these reasons, we feel that our population, which is college students, should, if they're not sure about what major they should pick, they should choose a business major. It's generally well paying compared to the average, and it gives you connections and resources and knowledge that makes it easier to find jobs out of college in many different fields. And if we could do it again, we would try to find more recent data just to eliminate the outdated factor, but we really don't think that 2 years has that much of an effect anyways. And we think it would be interesting if we could break it down further by individual majors such as accounting and finance for business, or chemical engineering, and electrical engineering for engineering. That would have been very difficult to do with there's hundreds of thousands of individual majors, but it would be interesting to look at some of those smaller ones. And yeah, that's about all we have. Business is the best degree to get, so thanks for watching.